Oh, hello. Hello.
Oh yeah, we are so back, baby.
Yeah, we are back. Welcome back to the 104 Podcast, episode 3.
Yep.
Just me and my brother, Patrick.
Starting off the new year eating these Pringles barbecue, fellas.
Yeah,
If you
starting
haven't
off the
tried
new year.
those-
Not really the new year. We're 2 months in.
Oh yeah.
3 months now. It's March. Oh, my bad.
We're a little late, guys. Don't worry.
Yeah, so, last time you've seen any of us, together at least, was in November, and it was just me and PJ. But now I got Patrick here with me, and now it's time to talk.
Yeah, we killed them. They had to replace them with me. It was pretty cool. The body's still in the cooler. But, anyways.
I had no part in that.
Welcome back to the 104 Podcast.
I had no partake in that.
Oh, yeah. But no.
But yeah, now it's time. 2025 is finally here. It's been I want to say, a decent start.
Oh yeah, it was a pretty good start for me. Around the start of January, towards like the very end, I was sitting here like, man, I'm not gonna have a job. I gotta get this shit together. And then I finally got one from Dollar General of all places.
Yeah.
Pretty nice, pretty nice. I mean, for retailers, it's straight to
So,
the point.
funny enough, I originally had an interview for Taco Bell, and so I went. And so the doors went open, and they said, "Be here at this time. We'll let you in." So I was there a couple minutes beforehand, and the doors still wouldn't open. So I called, and they were like, "Oh, we're no longer hiring."
Brother.
Why the hell give me a notification that I had a fucking interview?
Brother.
For what?
That's fucking funny.
Yeah, so it's like, okay.
Weirdly enough, Michaels did the exact same thing to me.
Oh yeah, I remember you talking about working at Michael's.
Yeah, so I applied there, and like a few days passed, like it was over the weekend. I decided, I'm gonna call them to see if it ever went through. Literally, not even a few minutes after I got done called, they put down all the all the job board listings for them, and they're like, we're no longer accepting applications at this time. And I'm like, brother, ain't no fucking way. My girlfriend though did manage to get a job there. So she's basically living my dream right now.
You said your girl is?
Oh yeah, she is, well, obviously it's up in Michigan, so it's not like, but she's enjoying it up there. All the cute little art supplies and all that. She gets a pretty fucking decent discount.
I applied for Marco's, and then I called yesterday. They said call today, so I'll have to call today. So if Marco's works, it's right there.
Right there.
That's right
Besides,
there.
it's not like,
It's a walk.
yeah, from what I learned, like, in any scenario, like, getting a job-wise, the hardest part about a job is just simply getting the job. Everything else, it is a fucking cakewalk.
Yeah.
It is a cakewalk. And for me working at a retailer, which gets relatively busy time to time, and, with it being a retailer, obviously, there's going to be a lot of other shit you got to worry about. The customers yelling at you.
You gotta worry about
People
not
stealing.
fighting back.
Yeah, stealing and shoplifting. You got all these other issues going in there, but that's normal. Like, once you understand that's just a normal occurrence, I mean, yeah, it's bad that it's just kind of a thing that happens, but once you get into, like, the whole, like, swing of things, the whole routine, you wake up, you go there, you, occasionally check out a few groceries. There might be, like, one or two people that you see, that are there, like, all the time. They're like, hey, how's it going, man? You just kind of just go your day like normal.
Yeah.
And it's just another extension. It's just another thing I do in my old... throughout my, yeah. I can't speak to save my fucking life. I'm sorry, guys.
No, you're cool. Yeah, the hardest thing is, like, my grandma's been helping me right now, trying to get multiple jobs, and so we've always gotten to, you fill out the application, you either don't hear back at all, you call them and they say, oh, we're not hiring, or you get the email saying, hey, we're not hiring. Because I did it for Kroger.
Oh, brother.
Yeah, I don't think we can say these names, but,
I mean, you can say the retailers' names. I don't know. Like there's like a underlying thing with like freedom.
It's a 50-50 shot on what you can say, what you can't. But we're just gonna say Kroger.
As long as you're not talking shit about like the government or something.
That's fair. Yeah. But Kroger, I applied for that place 4 times. I did 2 at the location near here, and then I did the 2 over.
By Alexis probably.
Probably. And
Alexis, yeah.
I did it twice. I did 2 over here, 2 over there. Denied all 4 times.
Oh, brother.
The closest I got was the last one, where it's like they sent me an email being like, "Hey, call tomorrow to schedule for an interview." So I did that. I called. I was like, "Hey, I got an email to schedule for an interview." They're like, "Okay, we'll let you know in like 15 minutes tops. We'll send you an email, get you all set up." And the second I hung up, declined. I got an email saying, we're not accepting your application. So I'm like, okay, well, fuck you then. I did Target. Target didn't.
Target's weird. Like, there's a good chance you might, but the second you do, you have to do like a video interview.
Yep. I was about to say they when Target was the first place I applied to when I started looking for jobs, and they gave me 15 videos on training for multiple things that I wasn't even gonna do, but they were like, just in case, you've got to watch them. So I'm like, okay, and then got nothing back from them. Costco, I got nothing back from.
Man, I haven't even tried doing Costco. I mean, I can't.
I know my cousin works at Costco, and he's doing pretty good. He just says that the hours are shit, but
I'd say your most optimal way, no matter what, always apply beginning of the week. Don't even try touching the end of the week, but always apply Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, around that deal. After, let's say, then you spend the rest of those weeks after that, constantly looking through, constantly checking the emails or calling them or XYZ. Because towards the beginning of the week, that's when a lot of the hiring managers do look at applications and are like, hey, we're going to select out of like maybe 1,000 or so people. And they randomly select, a few people, obviously. Then the interviews go out, and depending on how it goes, they trash it out. From what I learned, I did it possibly the most optimal way I could have probably done it. At the beginning of the year, first week of January, I went and applied to every single spot that I knew was around my area. And just at a random chance, Dollar General was the one that called back. But that's also because they were in need of employees anyway. Because, you can just walk into a store and tell. You can walk inside a store or any of these places and look around and be like, there's not a lot of people here. They might need people.
So that's kind of what I did for Monet's.
Oh, yeah.
PJ was like, hey, they're hiring. Call them again. So I did, and they were like, hey, call back Monday because we're on holiday. And we're not really accepting anybody, but Monday for sure we're opening back up for suggestions and all that. So I called, and they were like, unfortunately, you just missed it. Somebody took your spot, and now we are closed again.
Brother.
So I was like, y'all were only open for one spot, and it was the spot that I wanted.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I reckon you give it a week or two, though, that spot will be right back up.
Well, I also hearing from people's work experiences that that's not really the best place to be.
I learned that the hard way, but for me, don't let the money figure fool you. That is a no matter what. Because for me, working from 15 an hour, man, that thing's gonna. I don't even know what it's gonna do to me, bro.
But it's not gonna know. It's empty. That's why.
But no, for me working 15 an hour for my first job, being those obviously that was sublime. When you got the hours, if you didn't get the hours, 15 an hour feels like $9 an hour. It feels like $8 an hour. It felt like shit.
Yeah, I feel like over time it's wow, this is really worth it.
Because over to the whole few months of me working there, I was like, 15 sounds good when the hours are given to you. But if you only get maybe 8, throughout your whole 2 weeks of that pay period. Because some jobs pay
then you don't get paid shit.
Yeah, some jobs pay bi-weekly,
mm-hmm.
which means they have to stretch you out between pay period when it starts versus when it ends,
mm-hmm.
which means you could only really work 40 hours that time, which is reasonable for a bi-weekly, pay period of time.
Mm-hmm.
Or you get paid weekly, and weekly they have to scrunch you into this one segment of this pay period, which you could work maybe for me, for example, I work an average of 32, 35 hours within one singular week. Within Saturday to Friday, because that's how our weeks are set up. That's 35 hours. With a bye week, that is 35 hours split between 2 different weeks. So technically, it's cut in half. It's essentially cut in half.
Mm-hmm.
So, when you get paid from a bi-weekly basis, within 2 weeks, if within 2 weeks you're making 35 hours under your belt.
Uh-huh.
Now, that could have been 65. That could have been 70. Hell, that could be fucking 80 hours.
Mm-hmm.
If it's... Hold on, I'll munch it on in a second. It's our friend. But, within that time frame, yes, there's some people who actually work 80 hours in that time frame, but that's so rare, considering... First, you have to be full-time,
mm-hmm.
which...
Can't be part-time.
Yeah, it can't be part-time at all if it's bi-weekly, because, bi-weekly...
Part-time, you only
and
work, maybe 2-3 days out of the week.
Yeah, and that's shit. That's absolute shit.
I mean, it depends on what you do, though.
I mean, yeah, it also depends on
It's a good startup job if you don't
yeah.
need money for a certain thing. If you just need to, start making money just to make money, that's perfect. But, if you have an actual common goal... sorry. If you have an actual common goal that you're oh, by the end of this year, I want to be here, that's why you got to do full-time. Because then you'll get paid more because you will be working.
Right. And
so it depends on what you want to do.
Yeah. And from, my experience, the whole reason I even brought it up in the first place is that when I worked at Lowe's, I made $15 an hour. And it was paid bi-weekly. Within that bi-weekly time, the most I probably made in one singular sitting was maybe $700 in a paycheck. And that's because of all the benefits and Lowe's stuff. You take that out of the picture, it was maybe $500. Maybe even a little less than that, maybe $400.
But here's the thing, that's...
There's a catch. But here's the catch. Because at Monet's, not even Monet's, because Monet's is also bi-weekly. At the current job that I'm in right now, I get paid weekly, which means from the whole 7 days, how many hours I work in that amount of time, is, you do the math, that's how much you're just going to make. And then next week you get paid. So, every Wednesday for me I get paid. Within 7 days versus 14 at Monet's. No, Monet's and Lowe's. I made, from 1 week, I want to take maybe 2 weeks ago being my peak. I made $500 in 1 week versus making $500 in 2 weeks at Lowe's. Because of how they space it out. They space it out within the 2 weeks. They don't just give you all your hours crammed into one. Because that's, kind of how the pay period works anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, effectively, you're getting paid a lot more getting paid weekly. Especially if you're getting your hours. More especially if you're getting your hours.
Yeah.
But if you're not, then you're probably still working 25. I mean, that's whatever, but... If you think of a weekly pay as a bi-weekly pay, you're still making more. And they still take tax out of it every week, but you're still effectively making more doing a weekly basis versus a bi-weekly basis.
Okay.
And obviously get paid earlier, because, it's every week. Every Wednesday I'm getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
Next Wednesday I'm getting paid, the Wednesday after that, Wednesday after that.
So bi-weekly is every 2 weeks you get paid.
Every other week you get paid.
And you get paid weekly, so every week.
So the illusion with it being bi-weekly is that your pay is technically bigger, and the tax taken out of it is, I think, relatively the same, if not a little less. So that's
I have to ask my dad. My dad works bi-weekly.
Yeah.
And he works at a bowling alley.
Yeah, the illusion of it is that, like, yeah, you're technically working more. Like, let's say you work 40 hours a week, but you get paid bi-weekly. Mm-hmm. You're working 80 hours in a pay period. Now, think of that, whereas, like, yes, you get 800, let's say you work, like, I don't know, like, 15 a week, like I just mentioned. 15 at Lowe's. And you work 80 hours in that pay period. You make roughly like $1,000 or so. That seems cool that you get, within 2 weeks you get $1,000. But you also get $1,000 working 2 weeks at Dollar General. Mm-hmm. So it's like, but you get paid earlier. So like you get, let's say you make like $400 in 1 week.
Okay.
You instantly get that $400 when that pay comes in. But then that next week you can also get your $400. So you're still making the same amount, but you just get paid sooner.
Okay.
So like, as of right now, like if I added it up, technically, if my hours stayed the same, I could still make the same amount as everyone else is making. Mm-hmm. But I'm just getting paid earlier, which means you can, depending on how you want to go about saving, it's a lot easier, I'd say, to like save it when you get paid every week, because then you can just like put a little bit of it away, or like right away.
Yeah.
And then you wait till the next week, then you put a little bit of that away, then you put a little bit of that away. Like managing money's easier when it's weekly, I feel. At least for me, for someone who just started to save.
Mm-hmm. Same with me.
Versus bi-weekly. And like it's a lot more reliable, I feel, because for me, I need food. I desperately need food. I mean, not just because of how skinny I am, but because I don't know. I feel like I have like a weird eating habit. Like I overeat, I argue. And it's gone to the point where if I eat anything little than what I'm currently eating, I am out of commission for like the rest of the week. So, for me getting paid weekly, I can constantly get myself maybe a few snacks here and there, maybe like $50 worth of like food every week, besides having to wait every other week to do it. Mm-hmm. Because then if I wait every other week, then I'm like, well, I'm fucked. Because that 1 week you don't get paid, you're fucked. So you're like, oh, damn. Especially if you're like hardcore saving or
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if you're saving up for a certain goal that you want to reach.
Yeah, and and not even just that. Like let's say you don't even get like your amount of hours that you need. Let's say you work like 2 days across both weeks. So let's say you work a Tuesday 1 week, and then you work a Thursday the other week, mm-hmm. and then you get paid like maybe like $90. You have to wait a whole 2 weeks after that
to get more.
Mm-hmm. So you're sitting there with like $90 for a whole 2 weeks until you get paid the next time, and you're like, shit. Like you feel like shit because it's like that's
especially if you want to do shit during that week and you can't.
Yeah. Like you have like
I get that feeling, and I don't even have a job, but I'm saving money, and I gotta be like, hey, I gotta use that as sparingly as possible.
Yeah, getting paid less just hurts more. That's probably why some people don't want to work anyway, because of getting paid bi-weekly just sucks.
And here's the thing, right? So after graduating from high school, I have a certificate for forklifting. Here's the only problem. It's like my family is like, hey, you need to get into the trade schools and all that stuff. The only problem is I don't have a likeliness for doing that. I'm being dead ass honest. The only reason why I did advanced manufacturing in school was because it was an easier path for me to graduate, and I wouldn't have to do 50 other classes on top of that just to get all the shit I needed to graduate.
Yeah.
If I were to do that CTC program, get the forklift license, easy way to graduate. So that's literally the only reason why I did that. Now, it was also the only option I had between that and culinary. If I was in culinary, I would have done something with that because I like making food and all that.
Right.
So I would have actually done something with that. Whereas advanced manufacturing, I don't have any reason for I don't have any likeliness to do that. I know you can make a fuck ton of money just being a forklift like driver. I understand that. But that's not something I want to do.
Right.
Although it is handed to me, I could literally do that anytime, but I just don't want to do that. So maybe sometime down the road I'll give it a try, but like right now I don't want to do that. But you know, with finding jobs and all that stuff. Other than that, you know, life has been pretty slow. I mean,
that's usually how it goes. Yeah.
I know you're working towards moving out. You told me last night.
Oh yeah.
So
I've been booming on that shit.
So I mean, hey, that's good. That's good. You're actually doing something. So, I think for right now, you know, my problem is I can't focus on more than one thing. And for right now, my main thing is to lose a lot of weight and get fit physically, so I can be healthy enough to, if I have to constantly run around for a job or something, I can do that without having to fucking not die of an asthma attack. And if I need to carry a lot of shit, I can physically be strong to lift stuff.
Well, I'll tell you this: if I can lift half of the shit that they want you to lift, and I'm a relatively
skinny,
not physically capable dude, you pretty much got it. Like that part is out of the fucking question for you. Like you got that part figured out. And for most jobs, they don't like the most they have you lift is maybe like 40 pounds, maybe 40.
I don't know. 50. I don't know. Joe, my cousin works at Costco.
Okay, well that's different too, I guess.
I was about to say, dude, he's a bigger guy like me, but he already had some muscle because originally he was a lifeguard.
Right.
But dude, after like a month of him working there, like fucking you could see the veins out of his hands, like he's like fucking ripped. I'm like, all that from lifting a fuck ton of water crates.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They have you up and active for like that amount.
And he does it at nighttime. He's a nighttime stock.
Oh yeah.
So he's
getting that.
He's doing that shit at night.
Oh yeah.
Where nobody's there.
See, like for me though, I mean, since I walk to work, that's like my cardio. My cardio is like an hour walk a day. Well, like 20, 40 minutes to get there, 20, 40 minutes to get back, depending on, you know, the weather condition or whatever the case might be.
Mm.
And that's not even counting me walking around during my shift. So I'm getting my leg workout in.
You're not skipping leg day.
Oh, I'm never skipping leg day, dude.
See, my thing is, I'll go for walks for a while. In the gym, since I work out earlier in the morning, like 5:30, 6.
Oh yeah.
I do the treadmill to start off just to warm up and be like fully awake. Then I'm mostly at the gym to work on everything up here.
Oh yeah.
Because I know walking and running up the hill at that park will already do something for this. So I got my legs covered mostly. I just need to worry about this because last time I went to my doctor's for, you know, like routine shit or whatever.
Oh yeah.
They're like, look, you are now bouncing on the part of very unhealthy to where you are going to start having more problems if you don't do something about it. And that scared the shit out of me. So now I am doing my best to lose as much weight as possible, gain muscle, so I can, you know, feel better about it, and hopefully the next time I go back to the doctors for physical routine or whatever, they'll give me better results, because I'm tired of hearing, you know, oh, now you're balanced, now you're hitting 250, now you're overweight, and now you're going to start having stomach problems or heart conditions and all that shit. So it's like, I know I can never be as skinny as you guys are anymore, because at one point in time, if you look closely in that picture, you guys can't see it, but that picture right there on that wall, me in that light blue shirt, that's how skinny I was. And I had a six-pack. I was in baseball. I played mostly outside. And I kept that till COVID hit, when I was in 8th grade, so you were a freshman.
Yeah.
So 8th grade is when that left.
Oh, brother. I mean, that kind of how it was for a lot of people, though, because, I mean, everyone didn't want to go outside because they're too scared.
Well, also, they couldn't, really.
I mean, they quite literally couldn't go outside.
I went outside for a walk the first day that we went into actual lockdown, and funny enough, It was foggy as hell. It looked straight out of a horror movie. Like, I walked outside, I was like, bro, I'm in a Silent Hill movie.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't see anything in front of me, and if I kept walking and turned around, I couldn't see anything behind me. All I could see is the fucking bright sky. I couldn't see nothing in front of me, nothing behind me.
I'll tell you, it was a very dark time, especially around that, like, area. Because at least for me, I think I was, like, going through family shit at that time. Like,
No,
like almost, like, right... Like, a month after they had us locked down and everything. Like, 2 months after.
2020, for me so far, 2020 and 2023, by far my worst years.
Oh, man. I think for me, like, it's definitely brought me to, like, a realization of how I can be as a person. And the people I hung around, and how that was either a good influence or a bad influence.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you, like, the more I keep looking back at it, and the more, like, I mean, every now and then I was, like, remind my girlfriend about it. I'd be like, hey, so I, done this, and this around this time. And they're like, hey, you've been with some piece of shit people in your life. You need to...
Oh, yeah.
You need to drop their ass.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
And I'm like, the more I look at it, I'm like, she's kind of right. She was kind of right.
Well, yeah, because it's like, to be honest, as a friend, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I would even also agree with her that, a lot of the people you've been with were pieces of shit. Like, they didn't treat you...
Like, relationship-wise...
Not as good as you were treating them.
Yeah, relationship-wise, yeah, I could see there, where it's like, yeah... But, like, friendship-wise, too, like, there was a lot of people that were, like...
You had some questionable friends.
Oh, yeah. We all did.
For sure, we all did. But
not even just friends, either. Just people we, like, just allowed to be in our, like, general vicinity.
And I know that you never really talked to me about, like, dating shit until after you were with Lacey.
Yeah.
So, it's like... It's, knowing... seeing it from my POV on how, like, you were treating them with respect and they weren't giving it back to you is kind of where I was like, oh, yeah, he's got to kind of do something about that.
Yeah, he's got to do something.
But I left it alone only because I was like, he seems happy for the moment, so I don't want to really fuck that up.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I kind of left it alone, but I could see, I was like, maybe not.
Fellas. Like,
maybe not.
I'm going to be honest, to anyone viewing this too, like, it's okay to confess your delusional times in your life. And I've had a few of them. Me being with Lacey was one of them.
Me being with my ex was one of them.
One of 20. And it's okay to admit that you were desperate at times. I was definitely desperate with her. I fear that it was just out of pure desperacy that I wanted to even be with them. That's why I, second-guessed it at first. Because I remember I was in a call with Dante and I guess his girlfriend at the time, Mackenzie. But, I mean, obviously they don't talk anymore, so it's like whatever. But I remember...
I haven't heard Dante in forever.
No, he's doing good. He's living his life. He's doing perfectly fine, actually. But no, I was on a call with them. This was, like, a little bit after my, my ex-boyfriend, in air quotes, cheated on me with someone over there where they lived. So that's, that was fun times. And around that time, I was at my lowest. I feel like I was at my very, very lowest. Like, what is it? It was to the point where I think I sent you, one photo of Lacey on Instagram. And it wasn't even, a good enough photo for me to even see them clearly. So I guess I was purely going off of just...
Oh, you were down bad.
I was down horrendous.
Woof.
Astronomical levels of down bad.
Hey, but sometimes it's like that, me personally, I never was like that. I've had a lot of friends who were like that. Where, me and my ex, not gonna name drop, but me and my ex... I was in the right headspace. I was going through a tough time, but I was in the right headspace. She was always there for me. I was always there for her, so it kind of worked out. We were friends for a long time. We got along about 80-90% of the time. Sure, we had our moments where we did not like each other, but
I just think
that's just how shit works.
I remember my girlfriend saying that, your ex kind of looked like a man. And, the more I keep thinking about it, I'm like, she's not wrong.
Which one said that?
Kayla, my current girlfriend.
Oh, your current one.
Yeah, they're sitting there,
crazy.
Because, what was it? She knew I had, she found out the hard way that I had a crush on him at some point. Because I think Lamont indirectly said it. And it was like, oh, shit. And then I was like, oh, damn. But, Since then, though, I mean, she still hates me for it, but she still doesn't like her either because I don't know. I don't know why, but she just doesn't like her. But that's fine. It's fine with me.
Bro.
But it's funny because like she keeps looking at her and it's like she looks like a man. Like I don't know why you would have a crush on her, Patrick. And I'm like, okay, like goddamn, indirectly.
Well, I'm glad we got her opinion because everybody else over here, I know their opinions by.
Oh yeah, I'm sitting there
especially
like,
my sister.
I'm sitting there like, okay, she definitely kind of looked like a dude. She definitely kind of like not even my ex,
depending on her photos at times, yeah, she did look masculine.
She definitely had a dude face, and especially my girlfriend looked like a fucking ant. Like I had someone walk up to me one day, like right before school was like right before the bell rung, like the first bell rung, before we all went to the field house to go hang out. He was like, "Hey, I have your girlfriend in one of my classes. You know, the one that kind of looks like an ant." And I'm like, "Oh!" Like I knew right away too, which was probably the worst part for me. I'm like,
that's the unfortunate part is that you understood who he was talking about.
I understood completely what he meant.
Oof.
And I'm sitting there like,
hate to see it. You hate to hear it. You hate to hear it.
It's funny because I heard it all the damn time. Which I think that's what like. I think that's what kind of like had me second. Like I don't know. I shouldn't have to worry about what other people think. That's why I got upset at people when they talk shit about her, like looks wise. That wasn't, of course, until the whole thing with Christian got brought up. I think you can say that's like Christian and V Part 2 with, you know, him and Lacey instead, because that's like.
Oh yeah, wasn't he?
Yeah, those two were.
His relationship things were always confusing because
it confused me, dude.
It was after you graduated. And we were seniors. It was him, your ex, and August.
Oh yeah.
In a triple relationship.
Yeah, it was a fucking triangle. I've seen everything from an outside lens. People like Dante would tell me, he'd be like,
and here's
his brother.
And here's the thing. It's like it's not. They didn't hate each other at all. They knew that this is what it was. They were both okay with it. Christian was okay with it. And they went about their business. I was like, you cannot possibly tell me. And Lacey's not dumb either. Lacey's pretty smart.
She's smart up until a certain point, and this was that point where.
But even then, she still had some common sense.
She had some. Well,
she had no. Even after you two split, she still had common sense. This is where I was like, okay, you just must have let your common sense fly right out the window.
Yeah, this is where everything you thought of her
flew out the window.
Yeah.
Well, you said take that shit?
No, because, like, I'm happy you say what did it for you, because I have a few. I have a few things that definitely convinced me that everything I've known of her was fucking a lie. Like, in the dumbest way possible. But,
yeah, that is, you know... Well, that's because you knew her more on a personal level. The only reason why I knew her was because of you, was because of Rob.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only way.
Right.
Rob and you. I only know most of your guys' friends groups because of you two. Because other than that, I would have had no idea. And then that's how she knew my ex. Through you, me, her. For the most part, though, it's like, you know, now that I look back at it, you know, I think freshman year, A+. Sophomore year, A+. Junior year, fucking sucked.
Oh, yeah.
Senior year, it was slow. It was boring.
It was, yeah, I bet it was, yeah.
Because normally how everybody was hyping up was like, oh, senior year is going to be your best year. You're going to have the most fun. You're going to be... No.
No.
I went to school every morning. I was like, dude, I don't know how I did this for 4 years and not got paid not once. This shit sucks.
That's what I keep thinking every time I walk past it, because I have to walk past Whitmer to go work, you know, to where I need to go to work. So I'm sitting there just watching everyone else leave, because, like, I work at, like, around, like, 3, so, like, everyone's already about to leave by then. But I have to leave 30 minutes early so I can walk there and be there on time.
Occasionally I'll go with my sister to go pick up our cousin, but
yeah.
Other than that...
I'll be there like, man, I'm surprised that half of these people are here and not, you know, asking, like, where the fuck's their paycheck? Like, how much would they get paid if they had the same...
No, we did school for what? Let's see. Kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. So right there is 10 years. 10th, 11th, 12th. So
13 to 14 years.
13 to 14 years in school, and not one paycheck.
Not one singular amount, apart from like your parents if they were like if they had money. Like
they could have gave us like 2 quarters per year. I would have been okay with that because at least it's some for me to get some at the concession stands at lunch.
That's at least maybe $6.
That's at least easily a box of fries and a pop.
Oh yeah, I would have loved that box of fries and a pop in my senior.
I heard they took out the fries.
Oh no fucking way!
Because people kept going through them.
Man, that's some bullshit.
Dude,
shit.
that and the spicy chicken wrap, which that shit slapped.
I fucking love the spicy chicken wrap.
I'm not a huge fan of spicy stuff, but because you could choose between hot or cold. Always got the cold ones.
Oh yeah, for me
those were so good.
I just don't fucking get it for me, dude. Because I'm sitting there like I hated every single school lunch that they had there at Whitmer specifically.
Oh, 100%, especially the pizza. Oh, well, no. Sometimes the pizza was hidden.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Like, I think at some point, at least in senior year or, like, late junior year for me, so it was, like, sophomore, junior year for you, like, lunch just got bad. It got so bad.
I remember it being really good freshman year and sophomore year. Junior years when it was like, okay, now it's starting to downfall. And then once you left, senior year they added 3 pop machines. They had 2 other machines with chips and stuff that you could get. They had 3 different lines for hot foods, cold foods, and then the fries and all the other extra stuff. I was like, if Pat was here to see this, he'd be fucking furious.
I'd be fucking fiending, dude.
He'd been like, okay, so I'm gonna hit up first, second, and third today, and then tomorrow I'm gonna go second and third, and then tomorrow I'm just gonna go third.
I remember you got one of like the large yoga yoga? No,
yogurt. Yeah, you got a large yoga cup.
Oh yeah, the whole yoga class in a cup. But no, they had the large yogurt cups. You got them for free because they count as your free lunch.
We didn't have those.
Anything else you got. This was like my junior year, so like when you guys met me basically. So around that time, you could have got just a thing of yogurt.
But didn't you have to have like a problem at home or something for you to get the free lunches?
I think there's
wasn't it like
sign up for it or something?
Yeah, because wasn't it like, oh, if they're not able to like pay and give you money for lunch, they're like, okay, well then you can have free.
Yeah, like the school basically funded your lunch basically.
Yeah, no, I didn't get that.
Or like I think it was like a thing where like you kind of just pay it off right away and then you just got free lunch for that whole year.
I don't know. I still had to pay for mine.
Yeah, for me, like my final year there, I had to pay for mine, but that's why I also didn't buy the lunch. I mean, it was worth it at the end of the day because like the lunch got the shit at that point. I was like, I'm fine just eating Lucky Charms at the beginning of every lunch hour.
Dude, here's the thing: I never went to breakfast at all until senior year. Like senior year was the first time I actually went to breakfast.
Yeah, that was
there and started just chewing down on them fucking Pop-Tarts.
The breakfast food was arguably better than the lunch food.
Sometimes, those Pop-Tarts were smacking, like the cherry ones.
Oh, they were fucking booming, dude.
Cherry, and then they had, the wild berry, the purple, blue.
Oh, they just added that one? They must have just added that one, because when I was there, they had strawberry, cherry. Sometimes you got lucky and got s'mores, or like brown sugar cinnamon, or fudge.
Then they had blueberry.
Yeah,
but then they must have added wild berry for us then.
Oh, it must have been like a rare shiny Pokemon or something because.
No, actually, it was more common.
Oh, it's definitely more common then.
No? It was more common because it was either you got strawberry, cherry, wild berry, blueberry. That was it. The rare ones was the fudge, the cinnamon, and the
I saw those all the fucking time. They're like quick the old kids are gone.
Hold on, let me check. How much time we at? We are at 38 minutes. What the hell? And it's almost 3.
I feel like an hour, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But no, what was it? Damn, we sidetracked hella fucking hard. We're talking about Lacey and them.
We're just talking about how our 2025 is going now at this point.
Oh, dude, yeah. What was it?
So besides all the fuckery afoot, other than that, we're 3 months into 2025. It's March. By the time you're seeing this, we're 3 weeks into March.
Yeah, we're like in the middle of March.
I was about to say we're relatively in the middle. Is it the 8th? No, it's the 15th.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are literally in the 3rd week of March. We are in the middle of March with 2 weeks left to go before April. So I want to say maybe this comes out on Monday.
Yeah, probably Monday. Yeah.
Monday, maybe. Maybe it might come out tonight. I don't know. It's going to come out relatively soon. It's not going to be like, oh, next month, because that's what we were doing with the first two. Because the first one was shot in October. That didn't come out till November. Mm-hmm. And then the one shot in November didn't come out till almost December.
I mean, with enough pristine editing, yeah, it was probably going to take a while, but...
Well, there's really nothing to edit for this.
Not really.
But literally, I think that, with, how my 2025 is going, I think that the big main things are, get a job is one, still work on your physical health, and then work on my YouTube. Mm-hmm. We're at 40 subs.
Oh, yeah.
10 away from 50. And once we hit 50, I'm telling you, I've been saying them in my live stream, but once we hit 50, there's going to be some project announcements that I'm actually really excited for. He already knows one because he's working on it with me.
Yeah.
Or at least on one of them. But I'd be really excited to start working on it once I announce it. And we're working on it occasionally here and there.
Oh, yeah.
But once we, get to 50 subs, hopefully it just fucking snowballs. Because if it starts to snowball in a good way when we hit 50, that's easier because then there's more live streams I can do off my phone. There are more podcasts that I can do live. Instead of having to take a camera, I can do it live off my phone.
Oh, yeah.
There's more Q&As, there's movie reactions, there's game nights with friends, there's a bunch of stuff that I won't have to physically take my camera everywhere and pre-record it. Then there's a bunch of updates that I can keep doing for the projects as well. So there's a lot of stuff that's going to happen once we hit 50. And then once we hit 50, I'll be happy with it because it's like, okay, now I know that I'm actually getting somewhere. I know I'm getting somewhere right now, but it's just very slow.
I'd say use whatever money you get from the job. You can easily just go, okay, I'm going to save up to, move out, if that's what you really want to do right now.
So, continuing on with 2025, it's not going to happen the end of this year. It's physically not possible at this point. But my plan was, if I were to get a job quicker in 2024, was the end of this year, I was planning on moving out. After Christmas, after New Year's, start of 2026, gone. Because that's what I had in mind, because, I'm almost 20.
Yeah.
And it's but that's not gonna work now, so maybe middle of 2026. Maybe, I hope.
For me, that's what I'm hoping for. I want to get out of here before the summer. Before the summer's over. Not before the summer, because that ain't happening. But,
I was about to say, we're in spring now.
We're almost there.
We're in spring. One more
so far, though,
thing is summer.
Yeah, so far we're doing so good, though.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're doing good with keeping on top of what you want to do. Whereas me, since I don't have a job, whatever money I get, I have to save and use sparingly.
Yeah, but, what is it? What I'm doing isn't necessarily easy either.
Oh, I'm sure it's not.
People ever think that, me doing what I'm doing is, something that, it's an easy thing. It's not easy, but it's
not super hard.
It's not super hard either.
Yeah.
It's just, it takes a lot. It takes a lot for you to even get to a point.
It's time consuming.
It's very time consuming. You have to sacrifice a lot of other stuff that you do normally, or day in, day out, just to even be able to do.
That's why I'm how my schedule is depending on what job I get. It's I work out in the mornings.
Right.
Depending on what job I get, I wouldn't be able to do that, which then would really fucking suck for me. And then depending on how long I'm at work, depends on if I'm going to stream or not. So it's kind of those two things I really love doing, I might not be able to do any of it.
Which, what is it? At the end of the day, for me, I like playing video games.
Mm-hmm.
I like drawing.
Mm-hmm.
I especially now with like me getting, dabbling a little bit into music, which I still got a lot to learn. Still got a lot to learn about like music theory and like melodies and stuff. That part obviously there's got to be side things with that, and obviously me getting a license and everything, which
I got
I'll
that.
have to probably put aside anyway, considering I'm not even gonna have a lot of time to even do what I was thinking of doing, for like license wise, which is fine, but. Mm-hmm. From that, like, me working as much as I have been, because, I mean, there's times where I don't even have, like, 2 days off. There's times where I don't even have 1 day off. Mm-hmm. Just solely because of, there's times where I get called in. And at the very beginning, I'm sitting there like, okay, if I get called in, I'm answering it immediately. Because any hours that I get...
matters.
It definitely matters. Definitely fucking matters. But I'm at the point where, this upcoming week, I'm... getting more hours than like half the workers there, and that includes like my like boss and everything. Like, what is it? I mean, I get it. He gets paid more anyway, but like still, like I'm there the longest in that one singular store, and that's good for me because for me who's trying to get not only promoted but just getting that whole like work ethic, down to a T, so that at some point it's just gonna be second nature to me to wake up, go to work, and then it's just a normal day for me. That's how it is right now. Where it's like, there's times where I want to go to work, where I'm glad I'm even there. And there's times where I want to, I wish I hadn't left my house. But at the end of the day, the goal is to
it is what it is.
Make money and leave. Making building relationships at work is definitely a cherry on top, and it definitely helps, especially for me who just does not want to fuck with that at all. But I'm telling you, man, like, for me, I mean, yeah, it kind of sucks that I really barely get time at home unless it's like right before like 2 o'clock or around like 11 when I get home. But
you get off at night.
Yeah, I work night shifts. I work from 3 to close, and we close at like 10, which I mean that's assuming we close at 10 and we leave at 10, like 15. But sometimes I'm still there. And then I walk home, so I'm out there for a little bit longer. And I'm there at like 11 or 11:30, being like the latest I ever went home. Which, I mean, that's fine by me. And I'm usually up the whole night, and then I have all that time to sleep afterwards. Like, I've ran off of so little hours of sleep. Me staying up late and doing all that stuff, that doesn't matter to me. Because at the end of the day, I'm still going to wake up the next day, have all the energy I need to get my shit together and go to work and repeat set activities for the next few days. And obviously for how my work's currently going right now, where I'm getting paid weekly, so that's definitely, like, you don't know how good it is until you got it, because it is sublime. It is awesome. Being able to have, like, it's like such a reliable way of getting paid too, which is, it sucks that like not a lot of jobs do it. I know not a lot of jobs do it. All I know is that the job I'm currently working does it perfectly, and it's definitely helped me. It's definitely encouraged me to work more, knowing that like I can look forward to the next Wednesday, get paid, put that away immediately so I don't touch it, and I don't gotta worry about any in between, because there will be no in between to be worried about, because I could just get paid the next Wednesday. I look at every Wednesday as a check mark, like a check mark in this massive list that's gonna end off around like July somewhere. Get paid, put it away. Get paid, put it away. Every fourth paycheck, I keep all that money to myself and I spend on whatever the fuck I want. Then I repeat the activities. Every fourth paycheck is to me. So that way, not only am I saving up a bunch of money, but I have money in my pocket to do other stuff. At least for a little bit. Like, let's say we all wanted to hang out and like go to, I don't know, like a dinner or something. For some reason, we get
like
the
a celebration
boys together.
or something.
Yeah, we get the boys together, we go out on a dinner. I'll have money to not only, first off, be able to, buy my own food for once, because holy shit, I've been freeloading off of people. But in this situation where I get to pay for the whole event, I could definitely do that. Like, I'm more confident to do it now than I was back then. Especially with it, not getting the hours I needed. Like, because for me, I always loved the concept of working. Like, I don't know what it was, but it was just the fact of, like, you go out, do this specific thing for an extended period of time, then you get paid after. Like, that was cool to me. I was like, oh, hell yeah. Like, at 16, I always wanted a job. Always wanted to save. Never got that until I graduated, and it took a whole fucking year after that too.
Mm-hmm. Here I am. So that's we gotta wrap up because we're coming down.
Oh man,
to like 3. So, with 2025 still going, I'm sure there's gonna be another podcast that I'm probably gonna do with. I'm hoping. My plan is for this year to get one podcast with you, PJ, Toby, Chris, and me. So
the
5
whole
boys.
Fucking conglomerate.
2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, there's enough chairs over here for us to just have an episode just to talk for 2-3 hours. That's like a mega episode.
Oh yeah.
But it's good that we're still gonna be hanging out for a little bit before I gotta take you back home. But yeah, so our 2025, I'd say, is going pretty well.
Yeah, I'd say it's definitely a good start.
Slow, but it's still the start of the year.
Yeah, still the start of the year. We're already 3 months in. It felt like it was yesterday, but with how the pace has been going, I mean, we've been getting shit done. At least over where I'm at, I've been trying to just get everything prepared for the summer because that's it seems like it's far away, but time's flying.
Yeah, we're already in March, then we got April, May, and then it's summer.
Yeah, then it's summer, and that's game time for me, so I gotta make sure I get everything done.
That's hopefully big game time for me because I'm not going to be here second week of July.
Oh, man.
I'm going to be gone for a week in a different state.
That's where I'm trying to get to, a different state, trying to move a little bit more up north, which could be good or bad for me depending on the weather, but
yeah. So, again, this video will come out anywhere from either today or Monday. I'll set a time. So, I hope you guys continue to enjoy this. There hasn't been much more improvement over the past 2 videos, but, it's a slow pace, so why not? This would be episode 3.
Oh, yeah.
And so, we'll see you guys next time.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.